You can judge people by who they have as friends, but you can also judge people, I think more accurately, by who they have as enemies. I call it like it is all the time, and sometimes that will evolve over time. Because when Donald Trump was out there calling Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor, I say on the one hand, true or not, it's politically negative, I think, although I think it's wrong. When you have Marjorie Taylor Greene going out and fraternizing with the devil, I think now Marjorie Taylor Greene, in as much as Trump was wrong, and I believe that Trump was wrong, is certainly validating some of Trump's criticism. We talked about it yesterday or the day before that Marjorie Taylor Greene did that 60 Minutes interview with Leslie Stahl. And I said in that interview, when she went on, who was it, with Dana Bash, and I won't play the clip again, but when she was on CNN with Dana Bash, and she says, I want to apologize for having contributed to the toxic state of politics. I'm like, first of all, why are you apologizing? Who are you apologizing to? And what do you think they're going to do with that apology? Now, it's an amazing thing. When you apologize, I tell this to my kids as well, an apology, A, there has to be someone who was wronged. If nobody was wronged, you have no reason to apologize. B, or two, if you're going to apologize because someone was wronged, you've got to apologize to the person who was wronged. Apologizing to somebody else does no good if you're not apologizing to the person that you wronged. And if you're not apologizing to the person that you wronged, but apologizing to someone else, what the hell are you doing? 3, C, depending on which we were counting. You do not apologize for something when you did nothing wrong. And something that you did on purpose that you did not feel was wrong at the time, you've got to have compelling reasons to say, oh shit, I now realize why that was wrong at the time. Marjorie Taylor Greene going on struggle session is the way to phrase it. A struggle session tour. I don't know what the plan is here. Is she trying to cozy up to the CNNs of the world? Is she trying to issue constructive criticism to Donald Trump? Is she apologizing to anybody who she actually wronged with her own behavior for the last little while? I don't know the answers to any of these questions. To me, whether or not this is constructive criticism, going on CNN and assisting your enemies and arming your enemies to take down Donald John Trump, this is no longer constructive criticism. This is what I refer to as destructive criticism. And then some people are going to say, well, the only remaining question is why? You saw Marjorie Taylor Greene apologizing to Dana Bash for her contribution to toxic politics. Oh boy. Well, listen to what she said. This was yesterday.
To be precise. In addition to what we just heard there, President Trump posted yesterday that you are, quote, and I'm quoting him now, not America first or MAGA, and your, quote, new views are those of a very dumb person. That's the president of the United States speaking about you. What's your response to these latest attacks?
Well, actually, Wolf, I feel very sorry for President Trump. I genuinely do. It has to be a hard place for someone that is constantly so hateful and puts so much vitriol, name calling, and really tells lies about people in order to try to get his way or win some kind of fight. And I think that's exactly what's wrong in America today. That's what's wrong in this toxic political environment that has ripped our country apart. And I personally think that that's poor leadership from a president. It's a very bad demeanor, and Americans are very tired of it.
Can we all fully appreciate what we just heard? In addition to a struggle session, what we just heard is the most paradigmatic example of confession through projection. And I say this not as a criticism to Marjorie Taylor Greene, because politics was, and will always be toxic. The only question is what is deemed to be the level of toxicity or what is deemed to be toxic at the time. Politics is toxic by its nature. It's the struggle for power. It's not going to ever be civil. The only thing you can hope is that it remains nonviolent. Marjorie Taylor Greene accusing Trump of being the source of toxic politics is the manifestation of the pot calling the kettle black. And I say this not as a criticism to Marjorie Taylor Greene, because I don't really find Trump's politics to be that toxic. They'll call toxic whatever their adversary is doing. Your adversary could be as dumb and puppy dog as George Bush. They'll call it toxic, racist, Nazi level stuff. Your adversary can be Ronald Reagan, who they now look back on as the quintessential example of what a Republican was. He was called all the names that they're calling Trump today. So what toxic is what is in the time. But Marjorie Taylor Greene going on CNN and accusing Trump, and this apology, hold on. It must be very hard for Trump to be in such a place of hatred. It reminds me of one of the classic scenes from Family Guy where Mel Gibson's apology. I'm going to play it. It's like, what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing is sort of like Mel Gibson's apology, apologizing for Trump being in a place of hate, apologizing for Trump of being in a place of being responsible for toxic politics. Trump is not the cause of toxic politics. Trump is the result of toxic politics. And people didn't elect Trump notwithstanding or in ignorance of his mean tweets and his toxic politics. They elected him twice, I say 3 times, because of it and or in spite of it, but in full awareness of fact. So his toxic politics is nothing new. It's nothing that people haven't baked into the fact that he was elected now 3 times, and you're apologizing for him being in a place of hate. My goodness, you've ratified a lot of what Trump has said. And I don't know why, but let's not forget about Mel Gibson's apology.
We'll show him somehow, Lois. I'll be more convincing than Mel Gibson when he apologized to the Jews.
I'm really, really sorry about your big noses. I'm really sorry about how greedy you are. But most of all, I'm really sorry about your dirty, underhanded, backstabbing ways. Your number 1 dirty Jew fan, Mel Gibson.
This was back when Family Guy used to be funny. Am I going to hell for laughing at that? That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene did, effectively. And for what? I mean, is she trying to rebrand? Is she trying to actually atone for what she now might believe to have been her contribution to what she now seems to claim is the destruction or devastation of the world of politics, society? I've referenced it a few times. Do you remember? I mean, it's like a Lisa Lampanelli rebrand. Do you remember who Lisa Lampanelli was? This was who Lisa Lampanelli was on the left, and she lost weight, and that's very good. This is Lisa Lampanelli today. And I'm not making fun of having aged. I'm not even making fun of the blue hair. Who am I to make fun of somebody's hair? I might be thinking it, but I'm not going to make fun of her. I think Lisa Lampanelli had a midlife crisis where she looked back at her life and she said, look at all of the awful, racist, anti-Semitic, anti-fat, mean jokes that I've made. For those of you who don't know, Lisa Lampanelli was like the queen of the queen of mean. Who's it? You got the queen of mean. Did I just make that up? You got the dean of mean, Keith Jardine, back in the day of UFC. She was basically the one to do roasts, and she was nasty. I would say she was funny. It's crude, crass roast humor. And then one day, she's like, I feel bad for everything I've done in my entire life, and now I'm going to rebrand myself as the new and possibly improved Lisa Lampanelli. Rebrand a life of shock humor, retired insult comic, creativity coach, inspiration to millions. With a career that spanned more than 30 years, I'm not trying to rag on Lisa Lampanelli. Maybe she had a come to Jesus moment, and she's like, shit, I do genuinely regret everything I've ever done in my life. I don't know what that would feel like. She has now rebranded herself as a positivity coach. And when I look at what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing, I'm like, holy shit, she's having a Lisa Lampanelli political midlife crisis. Either that, or she is so scorned by Trump calling her a traitor that she's now basically confirmed Trump's accusations and criticisms of her. People say she's going to run for president or I don't know what in the future. People saying she's looking to seal a contract with CNN. The same people who are simultaneously saying she's rich for life now because of insider trading, which is just factually false. It's because she inherited the shares of her father's construction company. I don't know what the hell she's doing, but it's terrible because in as much as Trump was wrong for what he said, and as much as it was net negative, politically speaking, for him to have said what he said, it seems that she is now gone and is hell-bent on proving Trump right. And then maybe, who knows, maybe even her own following says, what the fuck is she doing on CNN throwing Trump and not just the MAGA movement, but effectively the future of America under the bus to try to kiss ass and beg for an apology from people who will never forgive her. You will never be welcome among the left, Marjorie Taylor Greene, except in as much as they can use you for their own political destruction of Donald Trump, and then you, like the rest, will be thrown under the bus if you are lucky. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. That is the second half of what Sefradin Squibb just posted there. So that's that. I think Trump was wrong. I think it was net negative, and I sure as hell think that what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing right now is not just wrong, destructive. And in as much as I thought maybe and hoped maybe there would be some sort of Christmas reconciliation, what we have right now is not just a further digging into the heels, but a further digging of the hole. And at the risk of not being able to find the clip from The Simpsons right now, no, stupid, dig up is not something that people can physically do.